Hey learners, welcome back to Edu Intern Voyage. Your learning journey starts. If you are a BCom student who wants simple, clear, and reliable study content, subscribe to Edu Intern Voyage, like the videos, and start your learning journey today.
Marks. Theories of money and its supply. 10 marks. Money is a vital component of any economy, serving as a medium of exchange, store of value, unit of account, and standard of deferred payment. Understanding money and its supply is essential for economic stability, inflation control, and growth. Economists have developed several theories of money and its supply, explaining how money influences prices, output, and employment. One classical theory of money, proposed by Adam Smith, David Ricardo, and later Milton Friedman, quantity theory of money. Key idea: money is a medium of exchange and neutral in the long run. It affects prices but not real output. Quantity theory, Fisher's equation. MV is equal to PT, where M is equal to money supply, V is equal to velocity of money, P is equal to price level, T is equal to volume of transactions. According to this theory, an increase in money supply, M, leads to proportional increase in price level, P, if velocity, V, and transactions, T, remain constant. Classical economists believed money supply should be stable to prevent inflation. Implications: focused on price stability. Emphasized the role of money in inflation control, not employment or output. 2. Keynesian theory of money. Proposed by John Maynard Keynes during the Great Depression. Keynes rejected the classical view that money is neutral in the short run. Key idea: money affects interest rates, investment, and employment. Changes in money supply can influence aggregate demand and economic activity. Liquidity preference theory. People hold money for transaction, precaution, and speculative motives. If money supply increases, interest rates fall, investment rises, output and employment increase. Conversely, reduced money supply increases interest rates, lowers investment, slows economic growth. Implications: money is active in the short run, influencing consumption, investment, and employment. Government can manage money supply to stimulate growth or control inflation. 3. Modern quantity and Cambridge approaches. Cambridge approach, Marshall, Pigou focused on the demand for money, MD is equal to KP.Y, rather than just supply. Emphasized the velocity of circulation and the role of money in demand. Suggests equilibrium in the money market depends on money demand and supply, not just printing money. Conclusion: the classical theory views money as neutral in the long run, mainly affecting prices. The Keynesian theory emphasizes money's role in interest rates, investment, and employment, highlighting its economic significance in the short run. Modern approaches combine supply and demand perspectives to guide monetary and fiscal policies. Thus, understanding these theories helps governments and central banks control inflation, manage money supply, and ensure sustainable economic growth. Types of money: broad, narrow, and high-powered money. 10 marks. Money is a medium of exchange, a store of value, and a standard of deferred payment in an economy. Economists classify money based on its liquidity, acceptability, and role in the economy. The 3 main types are narrow money, M1, broad money, M3, and high-powered money, M0. 1. Narrow money, M1. Definition: narrow money includes the most liquid forms of money, which can be used immediately for transactions. Components of M1: currency notes and coins held by the public. Demand deposits with commercial banks, can be withdrawn anytime. Travelers' checks issued by banks. Significance: represents the transaction money in the economy, used for day-to-day purchases and payments. Example: cash in hand, balances in checking accounts. 2. Broad money, M3. Definition: broad money includes narrow money plus less liquid forms of money, representing the total money supply in the economy. Components of M3: M1, currency plus demand deposits plus travelers' checks. Time deposits with banks, fixed deposits, savings deposits. Other near money assets, certificates of deposits, term deposits. Significance. Indicates overall liquidity in the economy. Used to analyze monetary policy, credit availability, and inflation trends. Example, savings accounts, fixed deposits. 3. High-powered money, M0. Definition, also called reserve money or base money, it includes money that forms the foundation of the banking system. Components of M0. Currency in circulation, notes and coins held by the public. Reserves of commercial banks with the central bank, cash reserves and deposits. Significance. Controls money creation through credit by commercial banks. Used by the central bank to implement monetary policy and regulate money supply. Example, cash in circulation plus reserves held at RBI, in India. Summary table for quick comparison. Type of money. Symbol. Components. Liquidity. Use. Narrow money. M1. Currency plus demand deposits plus travelers' checks. Highly liquid. Daily transactions. Broad money. M3. M1 plus time deposits plus near money assets. Less liquid. Total money supply and policy. High-powered money. M0. Currency plus bank reserves. Basis for banking credit. Monetary control and policy. Conclusion. Narrow money, M1, is for immediate transactions. Broad money, M3, measures total liquidity in the economy. High-powered money, M0, is the base for credit creation by commercial banks. Understanding these types helps the government and central bank formulate monetary policy, control inflation, and ensure economic stability. Inflation and deflation, 10 marks. Inflation and deflation are important economic concepts that reflect changes in the general price level in an economy. Both have significant effects on purchasing power, production, employment, and overall economic stability. 1. Inflation. Definition: inflation is the sustained increase in the general price level of goods and services over a period of time. Causes of inflation: demand pull inflation, excess demand in the economy compared to supply. Cost push inflation, rising costs of production, wages, raw materials, passed on to consumers. Monetary inflation, excessive money supply in the economy. Structural inflation, due to imbalance between sectors, e.g., shortage of agricultural goods. Types of inflation: creeping inflation, slow rise. Galloping inflation, rapid rise. Hyperinflation, extreme and uncontrolled. Impact of inflation: reduces purchasing power of money. Adversely affects savings and fixed income groups. Encourages speculation rather than productive investment. Can increase government revenue through bracket creep but may cause social unrest. 2. Deflation. Definition: deflation is the sustained fall in the general price level of goods and services over a period of time. Causes of deflation: reduced demand, falling consumption and investment. Overproduction, excess supply of goods relative to demand. Contractionary monetary policy, reduction in money supply. Types of deflation: mild deflation, slight fall in prices. Severe deflation, continuous and significant fall in prices. Impact of deflation: increases real value of money, benefiting creditors. Reduces corporate profits and discourages investment. Leads to unemployment and recession. May cause economic stagnation if prolonged. 3. Price indices related to inflation and deflation. Consumer Price Index, CPI, measures average price changes of goods and services consumed by households. Wholesale Price Index, WPI, measures price changes of goods at the wholesale level. Both are used to monitor inflation or deflation trends in an economy. 4. Role of fiscal policy in controlling money supply. Government uses taxation and expenditure to influence demand. To control inflation, increase taxes or reduce spending reduces money in circulation. To control deflation, reduce taxes or increase spending increases money supply and demand. Conclusion: inflation reflects rising prices, while deflation reflects falling prices. Both have significant effects on purchasing power, investment, employment, and economic growth. Proper monetary and fiscal policies are essential to maintain price stability and economic balance. Price Index, CPI and WPI, 10 marks. A price index measures the average change in prices of a selected basket of goods and services over time. It is a crucial tool for measuring inflation, deflation, and changes in purchasing power. The two most commonly used indices are Consumer Price Index, CPI, and Wholesale Price Index, WPI. 1. Consumer Price Index, CPI. Definition: CPI measures the average change in prices of goods and services consumed by households over a period. Purpose: to reflect changes in the cost of living for consumers. Components: food and beverages, housing, clothing, fuel and light, education, medical care, and transport. Calculation. CPI is equal to cost of basket in current year / cost of basket in base year * 100. Significance. Used to measure inflation at the consumer level. Helps government in formulating policies, fixing wages, pensions, and subsidies. Example, if CPI rises from 100 to 110, it indicates a 10% increase in consumer prices. 2. Wholesale Price Index, WPI. Definition: WPI measures the average change in prices of goods at the wholesale or producer level before they reach consumers. Purpose: to track inflation at the wholesale market and production level. Components: primary articles, food, raw materials, fuel and power, manufactured products, industrial goods. Calculation: WPI is equal to wholesale price of basket in current year / wholesale price of basket in base year * 100. Significance: used to monitor price changes in production and trade. Helps businesses and government plan production, import-export policies, and taxation. Example, if WPI increases, it indicates rising production costs, which may lead to consumer inflation. 3 key differences between CPI and WPI. Feature: CPI, WPI. Focus: retail prices of goods services consumed by households. Wholesale producer level prices of goods. Purpose: measures cost of living, consumer inflation. Measures inflation at production trade level. Coverage: includes services. Excludes services, mostly goods. Users: policymakers, wage boards, pension schemes. Businesses, economists, policymakers. Conclusion: CPI reflects changes in the cost of living for consumers. WPI reflects changes in prices at the wholesale production level. Both are essential for measuring inflation, guiding monetary policy, and economic planning. Together, they help the government formulate fiscal and monetary policies to maintain price stability and economic growth. Role of fiscal policy in controlling money supply, 10 marks. Fiscal policy refers to the use of government expenditure and taxation to influence the economy. It is a key tool for regulating money supply, controlling inflation or deflation, promoting growth, and maintaining economic stability. One concept of fiscal policy. Fiscal policy involves government decisions on revenue, taxation, and expenditure. Its main objectives include controlling inflation and deflation, ensuring equitable distribution of wealth, promoting economic growth and employment. By adjusting taxes and spending, the government can increase or decrease money in circulation, thereby influencing the money supply. 2. Role in controlling inflation. Inflation occurs when there is excess money supply relative to goods and services. Fiscal policy measures to control inflation. Increase taxes, reduces disposable income, lowers demand, reduces money circulation. Reduce government expenditure, less government spending, lower aggregate demand, controls inflation. Example, higher income tax or cutting subsidies can reduce excess money in the economy. 3. Role in controlling deflation. Deflation occurs when there is insufficient money supply, leading to falling prices and low demand. Fiscal policy measures to control deflation. Reduce taxes, increases disposable income, boosts consumption, increases money circulation. Increase government expenditure, spending on infrastructure, welfare, and development projects injects money into the economy, stimulates demand. Example, increased spending on public works or lowering GST can enhance money flow. 4. Influence on aggregate demand. Fiscal policy controls aggregate demand by adjusting money supply. Expansionary policy, lower taxes plus higher spending increases money supply, stimulates growth. Contractionary policy, higher taxes plus lower spending decreases money supply, controls inflation. Helps maintain economic stability and avoids boom-bust cycles. 5. Complementary role with monetary policy. Fiscal policy works alongside monetary policy to regulate money supply. Government spending and taxation decisions complement central bank measures like repo rates and cash reserve ratios. Conclusion: fiscal policy is a powerful tool for controlling money supply and maintaining price stability, growth, and economic balance. Through taxation and expenditure measures, it can stimulate demand during deflation or control excess money during inflation. Effective fiscal policy ensures sufficient liquidity, employment, and sustainable development in the economy.